Welcome to this HR Diagnostics webinar. My name is Tania Harland and it's fantastic to have you join me here today. In this webinar, I'm going to walk you through the key features and benefits of HR Diagnostics, both from your perspective as an HR consultant and also from your client's point of view. There's a separate demo recording you can dip into afterwards, which shows both the consultant and client portals in action. Just by way of background, HR Diagnostics actually came about back in April 2023 off the back of my own personal frustrations as an HR consultant. I was carrying out HR audits for new clients and prospects, and it was manual, time consuming, and frankly far more painful than it needed to be. So huge frustrations on my part. Over the last 12 months, I've been testing, piloting and refining the tool with the help of some brilliant HR consultants who have been part of the beta pilot group, and we officially launched HR Diagnostics to the market on the 22nd of January 2026. This is the original digital HR audit tool built by HR for HR in the UK, and it's designed to make risk visible, conversations easier, and compliance feel far more manageable. So in terms of the product, HR Diagnostics is a white label tool designed specifically for HR consultants. It allows HR consultants to run quick, clear HR audits or HR health checks, if you like to call it that, for your clients without the spreadsheets and the endless kind of documents and the manual admin involved. What it does really well is it cuts through the noise. It shows where the risks are, what actually needs fixing, and how to fix it, all in a way that clients can understand. For your clients, that means clarity and reassurance. They can see what's urgent, what's important, and what can be tackled over time. For you as the HR consultant, it's a powerful way to add value, structure your advice, and open up ongoing work, turning HR audits from a one-off exercise into a genuine growth tool for your consultancy business. So HR Diagnostics is built around a very simple but powerful four-pillar model. It's broken down into assess, identify, evaluate and remedy. So first we look at assess. So this is all about capturing what's actually happening in practice, not just what's written in the policies. Then we look to identify, which is using a clear traffic light risk indicator to show where exposure sits across each of the HR areas. The next element is the evaluate. So this is all about prioritising risk, so clients understand what's urgent, what's important, what can be planned over time. And finally, remedy. So this is about translating those insights, that data, into actions with clear recommendations, resources and next steps. So this is just a really simple, structured, defensible way to reduce HR risk and move clients forward with confidence. So HR Diagnostics is structured around 8 key employment categories, which I call the legal must-haves. So these are the categories the areas where employers have an obligation to their employees to meet these certain requirements. So these cover essential compliance areas with plans to expand these in the future. So I'm looking to add onboarding, offboarding, employee relations, as additional categories, but these 8 categories are broken down into over 70 subcategories, and then again obviously broken down into the questions. So there's about 360 questions. The dashboard features an interactive radiograph, which you can see there on the screen. So once they've completed the assessments, they're able to see their compliance percentage for each of the core categories, making it easy to identify high risk areas just at a glance. So in terms of completing the assessments, it's built in a way that makes it very intuitive. So the assessment's broken down into bite-sized manageable chunks. So clients, the user, doesn't have to complete everything all in one go. The system automatically saves any responses, allowing users to resume any time and retake the assessments when needed. It also shows them exactly how they've answered the questions in the first place. So I think that's really important when you're looking at a huge number of questions, a huge number of areas to assess. is to make sure it is broken down into bite-sized chunks that they can come back to, resume, pick and choose exactly which categories they want to complete first. In terms of risk-based scoring, so not all risks are equal in HR and employment law, so some questions do carry a higher weighting based on the severity of them being non-compliant in that specific area. So examples of that would be health and safety breaches that could lead to imprisonment, knowingly hiring illegal workers. So these are kind of high risk areas, and they therefore receive a greater risk weighting, ensuring businesses know that they need to prioritise those areas first. So this is where the real difference sits. So looking at the key features for the client, HR Diagnostics creates clarity and control and reassurance so that they can see as a client where the risk lives, where what actually matters, what needs attention first. And I think the important thing here is not to overwhelm them or for them to feel criticised, but to feel like they got this as a supportive tool. It includes a downloadable PDF report, and the PDF report provides like their overall percentage compliance score, the individual percentage compliance scores for each of those 8 categories. The report provides real risk alerts in terms of real world insights, including latest tribunal statistics, case law, financial payouts, which I think it's important just to kind of back up the data that you're presenting. It demonstrates like the impact of non-compliance. So the report highlights potential legal and financial consequences, including risks related to employment tribunals, HMRC investigations, health and safety exec, penalties, pension regulator, and obviously we've got the fair agency worker coming in soon as well. So these, signpost include signposting for clients, helping them to take action before issues escalate. So that's what the client gets in terms of what that enables you to sell as the HR consultant. So this is going to give you data insights. It's going to give you high impact insights so that you can have those conversations. It's not about a policy review. It's about kind of getting a paid audit as a formal entry point. And this urgency is going to lead to advisory work. Seeing these risks visibly in a radiograph is going to highlight areas that they are going to need support with. And I think the action plan specifically gives that kind of structured implementation support, and then access to practical knowledge hubs. The important thing here is actually there's a clear next steps and recommendations. There's a clear call to action, which is to contact your HR consultant to get support with this, hopefully giving them confidence and a new long-term advisory relationship. In terms of key features as the consultant, so this is slightly different. It gives you structure and a clear professional portal, so a starting point that anchors every conversation. It gives you value, so you're no longer selling time or policy, you're actually selling data, insights, facts, prioritization, and it's all about risk reduction here. Particularly around, the Employment Rights Act 2025, there's going to be a lot more support required. It creates reoccurring revenue because one risk is visible. The question is no longer do we need HR support, it's like how do we move forward with this? And I think that's how HR Diagnostics is going to shift from the reactive support to long-term advisory. There's a whole branded consultant portal, which is like your admin portal. You'll be able to have complete oversight, live oversight over your client's progress, and that just enables you to provide that monitoring and that progress support when required. So the HR Consultant Toolkit is a really important part of all of this, particularly if you are new to consulting and left the commercial world and joining the HR consultancy world. I've been there, done that. It's really tough when you've got to learn all these other aspects to consulting. So this toolkit is designed to support you end to end. So you've got, not just how to run an audit and, what that means, but also how to sell it and deliver and build upon, ongoing work. It's split into 6 modules. Each module is focused on making the HR Diagnostics tool easier for you to use, making it easier for you to understand, making it easier for you to position yourself and use it in a commercial way that is going to grow your business. Module 1 is all about starting with clear understanding of what is a modern HR audit. What does HR risk mean in real business terms, and why should the diagnostics always be the first step in a client's journey? So just kind of like upskilling of knowledge around that. Then we move into module 2, which is all about the marketing and positioning. So giving you ready to use content, like social media blog, content that you could customize as your own, email marketing campaigns, and also objection handling. So you can talk about HR diagnostics with confidence. So tools like that, really important. Then you get practical client delivery tools. So within module 3, there are presentations, guides, videos, all brandable, so you look polished and professional in front of your clients. If you choose to do a presentation, there's PowerPoint slides that you can adapt to brand it as your own. There's videos and guides and stuff like that. So the 4th module is the strategy module. I really like this module because I feel like it turns audit insights into really clear structured follow-on work using a very clear method, using data telling stories. So we cover everything in terms of, if you're going to go on this strategy journey, it's a 5-step model, everything from the start of the discovery call that you might have with a client about it, right through to, we're planning, future planning the action plan. We know where your priorities lie. This is how I can support you. So that strategy tool is really important to kind of understand in order to deliver HR diagnostics to clients. And finally, not finally, but module 5 is all about the terms, pricing, legal documents. So it's giving you information about return on investment and how to position it. It's giving like those legal foundations. So if you're going to write a proposal for a client, what does that look like? And there's template proposals, terms of business, letters of engagement. So clear kind of scope setting to avoid those time-based conversations. And then finally, module 6, which is a new module just been added recently, and that's about the ongoing use. So how to re-engage clients and respond to employment law changes and position HR diagnostics as like a living framework, so not just a one-off exercise. And that's really important when we look at all these upcoming employment law changes. So I think together the whole toolkit gives that structure, consistency and commercial leverage, and it's a really important aspect of the tool. It's not just about the audit and the assessment and supporting the client, but it's about also providing you with the support you need so that you can have long-term advisory relationships with your clients. So in summary, HR diagnostics isn't just about saving you time and energy. It's also a powerful way to grow your sales, grow your revenue, and grow your client base. And I think probably the biggest benefit, as much as you could charge the audit as a premium chargeable service, which I would absolutely recommend you do, the biggest benefit here for you as an HR consultant is the opportunity to upsell and expand your services in a really natural way, because the audit speaks for itself, the radiograph, the visuals speak for themselves. So I think it just creates that visibility, and that insight opens the door to more meaningful follow-on work. I strongly recommend that you watch the return on investment presentation, which you can find on the pricing and plans page. There's also a PDF guide on understanding return on investment, as well as the actual calculator that you can play around with the numbers. But the presentation basically walks you through real examples of how you can package up HR diagnostics, either into enhanced retainers, which is another way you could use them, or into advisory services, and like I say, the upselling aspect. You could use HR diagnostics as a lead magnet if you want to. I generally only recommend that if you're just starting out and you just wanted to get your name out there, because this is a really high valuable tool to clients, and so it's important to recognise both the value it delivers and the time that you'll be spending, and obviously the cost you're paying for it. So I would suggest You could use it as a lead magnet, but actually you should be charging a minimum of £500 per client for this audit tool. So what I would say is have a look at the dynamic return on investment calculator on the website, as well as the video, the PDF guide. They'll give you a really clear picture of how to position HR Diagnostics commercially. As a member of HR Diagnostics, you get a monthly drop-in session with me to run through any legal updates or updates to the system, as well as kind of like a Q&A session as well. So I want to ensure that you get all the support you need in order to commercialise HR Diagnostics. Thanks for listening.